The day we stopped being at the top of the food chain, I still can't sleep when I smell pine. That sweet, resinous scent used to remind me of childhood, camping trips with my dad in the Appalachians, fires made of dry pine cones, his stories about how bears respect those who don't run. "Stand your ground, son," he'd say. "Look him in the eye. They smell fear." I believed him until I met him. The grizzly that rewrote our lives in 10 minutes of hell that morning. But let me start from the beginning. My brother Mike, his girlfriend Amy, and my best friend Jake headed into the Rockies in September 2019. Mike had just come back from Afghanistan. He needed to reset, as he put it. Amy, a petite blonde with a hummingbird tattoo on her wrist, had never done a multi-day hike. Jake, our resident clown, packed a bottle of whiskey in case we meet Sasquatch. And me? I just wanted to escape. My divorce, the debt, that goddamn insurance office in Denver where I sold policies like I believed they could protect anyone from anything real. The first 3 days were perfect. We hiked the Lost Creek Trail, laughed at Jake for jumping at every rustle, caught trout in ice-cold streams, slept under stars so bright they felt radioactive. Amy pressed wildflowers into her journal, Mike taught her to build a fire without matches, and I scribbled dumb notes in my pocketbook like, "Happiness is when bear scat on the trail still warm." Fool, day 4 changed everything. We woke before dawn, aiming to cross the ridge by noon. The air felt thick, syrupy, smelling of storm, though the sky burned turquoise. Amy fiddled nervously with her compass. "You sure this is the right path?" she asked as Mike laced his boots. "Positive," I lied. Truth was, we'd veered off the marked trail the day before. Mike wanted to find that one spot from his army dreams. By 10 a.m., the clouds turned leaden. Fat, wet snowflakes swirled around us like ash. "We should set camp," Jake said, but Mike, stubborn as a mule, insisted, "1 more hour." That hour damned us. The attack happened as we pushed through a thicket of fir. I was leading, elbows carving a path, when I heard a branch snap behind me, loud, deliberate, like someone stepped on a kid's toy. "Hey, guys," I started, turning, and froze. He stood 15 yards off, muzzle lifted, nostrils flaring as he caught our scent. A grizzly. Not just big, but colossal. Silver-tipped fur hung like a mane, front claws the length of my palm. But it was the eyes that got me, not angry, not hungry. Empty. 2 obsidian marbles. "Don't move," I whispered, but Amy already stumbled back, tripping over a root. The bear roared. The sound punched my eardrums like a detonation. He charged AMY. Happened in flashes. A paw swung, claws like daggers. I heard the crack they'd later write about in the ER report. Fractured collarbone, shattered scapula. She hit the ground, and the grizzly loomed over her, drool dripping onto her face. "Grab her arms." Mike screamed. We yanked Amy by her jacket, dragging her toward a pine as the bear shook its head, confused by our audacity. Jake, pale as the snow, hurled his empty canteen. "Idiot." Mike roared. Too late. The grizzly charged again. A bear's rage isn't just strength. It's a tornado of muscle, claws, and instincts forged over a million years. He swiped Mike's back. The Kevlar vest tore like paper. My brother crumpled, gasping, "MOM, our mother's name, unspoken since her death, fire. We need fire." I yelled, grabbing a burning log from our morning campfire. Fools, thinking it'd protect us. Jake, the scrawny cubicle rat, morphed into a Viking. He grabbed the hatchet, swung at the bear's ribs. The blade glanced off. The grizzly didn't even flinch. "Trees. Get the hell up the trees." Jake shrieked, already climbing. Amy, bleeding, clung to Mike. I shoved them upward, feeling claws rip through my jeans below the knee. White-hot pain, then adrenaline drowned it all. We dangled 5 feet up, 4 adults on a pine groaning under our weight. Below, the grizzly roared, scraped bark, reared up on hind legs, swiping at Jake's dangling boot. "Don't look down," Amy whispered, cradling her shattered shoulder. Her lips were blue. 2 hours. We hummed their 2 hours. Mike, jaw clenched, tied a tourniquet around my leg with his shredded shirt. Jake prayed in Latin. Turns out he dropped out of seminary to tend bar. Amy hummed Hallelujah, and I finally understood why that song's about broken love. It felt like a spell against death. The bear left when the snow turned to sleet. He just sniffed the air, turned, and vanished into the trees. Like we'd stopped existing, we climbed down like sleepwalkers. My leg was slick with blood, Amy's arm hung limp, Mike's back was a raw wound. Jake, our accidental hero, carried 2 packs and muttered, 20 years in Colorado, never saw a grizzly. We hiked 6 hours. 6 hours through blizzards, falls, ravines. Amy vomited from pain crossing a creek. Mike, the ex-sergeant, barked, 1 step, soldiers. We ain't dying in this shithole. We got lucky. A group of Canadian backpackers found us 3 miles from camp. A red-bearded giant named Luke said, "Y'all look like you seen a ghost." Worse, I croaked. We saw God. And he was a bear. At Boulder General, the surgeon said we should have died. Grizzlies don't half-ass it, he explained, stitching my leg. If he wants you dead, you're dead. But he didn't. Why? Were we too pathetic? Or had he already killed someone else? Amy had 3 surgeries. Mike still wears a back brace. Jake quit bartending and joined a monastery in Arizona. Me, I went back to those mountains a year later. Stood where it happened, breathed that pine resin, and waited. Wanted him to come. Wanted to stare into those empty eyes and ask, why? He never showed. Now I guide tourists. Tell the story around campfires when they're drunk on fear and thin air. Always end the same, we think we own nature. Buy heated tents, download offline maps, pack bear spray. But it's all theater. Truth is, we're just guests. And the host can come back anytime. Sometimes, when wind howls through the canyons, I hear his roar. And I thank him. For those 10 minutes that made me feel alive, truly alive.